Hey, what's up everyone? So it's already been a few weeks now since Sagat's very surprisingly early release in August. We've already released a couple of videos on combos and tech with him, and I've been playing him a lot during my stream from Rookie all the way to Diamond. And we even have been spoiled with some tournament footage with him as well in the CPT. So I think it's a good time now that we can do our impressions / review video of Sagat. So my initial impressions on him has been pretty positive so far. I'm having a blast playing him actually. I'm a little biased though because I already like Sagat. I've been waiting for this character for a long time. But in terms of keeping his very powerful zoning game in Street Fighter V that he's known for, I think Capcom did a pretty good job on it. In terms of character canceling, I'm also very surprised they kept in the game. Not only can you character cancel all of his specials, you actually need to use them in terms of anti-airing at certain ranges, or even exclusive combos, which is a great design choice I felt that Capcom included for him. But in terms of faults and tournament viability, I definitely have my concerns. There's some balance decisions that I don't exactly agree with, which of course we'll talk about very soon. As for the general public's reception from my perspective, has been pretty lukewarm at best, I would say. Season 3 has honestly been extremely stale when it comes to character diversity in tournaments. I mean, we very rarely see, Sakura, who's an extremely popular character, Falk, Blanca, Cody. I mean, every single Season 3 character so far has been balanced in a very, I would say, different way than the previous seasons. I mean, so, people really want to see Sagat break that curse. We wanted to see Cody break that curse. Especially Sagat, because he's a very popular returning character that we've been anticipating for a very long time now, right? At the tail end of the season, and it just doesn't look like that's the case. But, like I said, in popularity, if you look at the actual CFN statistics right now, Sagat is the most played character online from August. So that's actually a pretty big deal, even though it doesn't sound like it is. It's always been Ryu. Every single month is the most played character online, except maybe when Akuma came out, he was the most popular character for like a month or two. But yeah, that just shows you how popular Sagat actually is. We've also seen a lot of pro players try Sagat on their streams and such. We even see Bon-chan, Leslie. If you guys remember Leslie, Street Fighter 4. We sometimes see them in CPT tournaments. We get a lot of info on this character in a very short amount of time, I feel. Right away. We already got like the hitbox information, frame data. Everything is so quick now because Street Fighter V has been out for quite some time, and we have a lot of tools now to learn these characters quick. Alright, moving on, let's talk about the character himself in terms of strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with his normal attacks. In general, his normal attacks have great long range, as they should, but they're really slow. I mean, really slow. Too slow. So some of his better normals are Standing Light Punch. This is a really long range 4-frame normal, but at the same time, it whiffs on crouchers. His Standing Light Kick has excellent range. It's a 5-framer. It's cancelable. Overall, it's really good. And his Crouching Medium Punch has a really good hitbox on the tail end, but it's a 7-framer. His Crouching Medium Kick, it's a cancelable low attack, which is nice, but it's very stubby, and it's 10 frames. Really slow. Standing Hard Kick is a great anti-air. Once again, whiffs on crouchers, but 7 frames, not bad. But then you have these normals with like really specific uses, like Standing Hard Punch. I mean, it's good for confirming into super, but it's so slow. 13 frames. You're going to be begging for a jump in on some of these. And Crouching Heavy Punch. 11 frames. It's this crush counter. I mean, it knocks the opponent far enough on a crush counter that you can maybe get a Tiger Scar, but I mean, it's kind of stubby and it's just too slow. So if you combine this with his very slow movement in general, just his walk speed, and his 21 frame dash, I mean, 21 frames. I don't know what's with Capcom and very slow dashes lately. Falk with a 20 frame dash. I mean, Sagat is in serious trouble if the opponent gets in on him. Now, I know Sagat is a zoner. I get it. That's his main jam. He's supposed to be zoning, not rushing you down. But if we compare him to other very strong zoners in the game right now, such as Guile or Manat, I mean, these characters can hold their own in zoning. I mean, Manat still has a 3-framer. She's got the dive kicks, right? Guile, I mean, he can rush you down easily because his sonic booms are so plus, and his mobility is so fast. even though he's a charged character. So Sagat is just very, very slow in comparison to this. Maybe if Sagat's normals did more damage and stun to compensate for their weight, it would be more intuitive. Now for special attacks, I mean, Tiger Shots are really good. I'm happy about that. I was a little afraid they weren't even going to be in this game. Sagat has some of the best zoning in the game for sure. You need to alternate between highs and lows, which is great because they have their specific uses. The high Tiger Shots recover faster than the low ones, but the high Tiger Shots, the opponent can duck underneath them. And there's other things like high Tiger Shots being able to hit like Ryu or Akuma if they try to Tatsu over your low shots, for example. Or you need to use high shots against Bison if he does a knee press, and a low shot if he's going for a slide. I like that kind of stuff. They both have their uses, and they're both excellent recovery, and they have decent hitboxes too, where you can use them really close to the opponent without getting snagged. The issue is when you put a character that is mainly a zoner into a game that's designed around anti-zoning. I mean, ever since day one of Street Fighter V, we've had characters where their V skills, many of the V skills are specifically anti-zoning. There's so many anti-zoning tools in Street Fighter V. And there's even zoners in the game with great anti-zoning tools such as Guile and Minot once again. And you know, it's just much stronger than Sagat's when you combine the two. There are certain matchups like M. Bison or Jury where you have to actually go really close to the opponent so they don't have time to react to your Tiger Shots, putting you in danger. Even Akuma's Red Fireball can force Sagat to go after him, which is one of Sagat's biggest weaknesses, is when he falls behind the life lead and he actually has to go in. He's really helpless. In terms of Tiger Uppercuts, his light Tiger Uppercut is his main anti-air tool, and it's really, really fast, 4 frames, which is great. But the angle is very vertical and very specific, and which is a problem, because when we have Street Fighter V where it's designed where each strength of a DP has different invincibility, whether it's throw, whether it's projectile, whether it's strike or anti-air, we have problems, man. Like, look at Cammy, for example. Cammy was changed so her medium kick DP, it was the invincible one, but the angle was very specific and people were complaining, and therefore Capcom made it so her light kick DP and her medium kick DP are both anti-airs. But now Sagat has this issue where only his light uppercut is the anti-air version. So it's like they want you to use the Kara uppercuts to cover all the ranges. So it's kind of a problem, because you know, before Sagat, I mean, you just need to know where the uppercut's gonna hit. They're all anti-airs before. They're invincible, right? But not in Street Fighter V. So, like I said, Capcom wants you to use Kara cancels to compensate for your lack of range. So they want you to Kara cancel your Tiger Shots to deal with characters that are anti-zoners. But you're putting yourself in harm's way by doing that. They want you to Kara Uppercut through other projectiles to deal with how you deal with anti-zoning. But it's risky once again. If you guess wrong, you get blown up. And they want you to carry your uppercuts to compensate for your lack of horizontal range on a lot of things. Sometimes when I carry uppercut someone full screen away, I'll still get a trade because my heavy DP is not invincible to air attacks. Another concern I have about Sagat's Tiger Uppercuts is they just don't do enough damage or knock the opponent far enough back. They need to do more stun. I mean, the opponent can get anti-aired 5 or 6 times, and I'm speaking this from experience, and they'll still try to jump in, because if they land one jump in on you, they'll get all that damage back and put you in the corner, and then it's lights out because you're Sagat and you're too slow. I think that's definitely a big concern. I mean, Cammy's uppercuts do a huge amount of stun, and Gao's flash kicks do a huge amount of pushback. So I think Sagat should get one of those at the very least here to make him a more threatening zoner. I mean, the majority of your damage from Sagat should be from Tiger Shots and uppercuts, because you're chipping the opponent down and damaging him for making mistakes trying to get in the first place. Now for Tiger Knees, that's definitely the weakest part of Sagat's returning specials, I would say. The Tiger Knees in this game are really slow. They're not too good at bulldogging and surprising your opponent when they get a little too close. And I feel like even though the heavy version, the EX version, can be quite plus if you do a meaty or spaced, the light kick and medium kick, the best you're getting is like 0. Which I don't like. The corner combos are cool, but even if you do a Kara Tiger Knee, the whole process is just way too slow. They definitely need to be sped up or made more plus. Alright, let's talk about Sagat's V system now. Let's start with his V skill. That's the Tiger Scar that enhances his next uppercuts. It does more pushback and more damage. That's probably the reason why his normal Tiger uppercuts seem underwhelming, because of that. But the problem is that it's very rare where you get to do Tiger Scar without using meter. If you uppercut your opponent as an anti-air, you definitely don't have enough time to use Tiger Scar. You have to pretty much land an EX Tiger Shot to reliably get that out. And even then, there's some characters that can punish you for it. So it's rare. I don't like the fact that the V skill doesn't give you V gauge when you use it raw. It only gives you V gauge when you actually do the uppercut. So when you have the charge, you're not getting any V gauge until that uppercut you finally use it. So I really don't like that. It's a problem, like I said, if someone has a life lead on you and you're Sagat, if you do Tiger Scar, it doesn't do anything, especially if you already have it. You don't gain V gauge. There's nothing to threaten the opponent with. I do like the extra combos that Sagat gets with the juggles for it, but they're also very rare because you need to do an EX high Tiger Shot, which pretty much means you gotta land a jump in or a full ground combo. Most of the time you're gonna be landing low EX shots. So definitely some improvement that we can look forward to, hopefully, for that. In terms of V-Trigger, I would say this is probably the most disappointing part of Sagat. It's a beef that I have with a lot of characters in general. I don't like the lazy V-Trigger designs on this V-Trigger powers up these specific special moves, and then second V-Trigger powers up the other special moves. I really don't like those kind of V-Trigger designs. I think they're very lazy. Characters like Sakura is what I had beef with, and then we had something like with Falk. I want the more interesting V-Triggers like Blanca's V-Trigger 2, Cody's Pipe and Knife. Stuff like that I think is great. Something to compensate for the character's weakness, or just change how they're played dynamically throughout the match. Both Sagat's V-Trigger 1 and 2, they both have some type of utility, but they're very, very similar in how they're activated and how they're used throughout a match. You land a hit, you carry a DP, you super. So overall, I would say that Sagat is a very honest character. You don't get any serious advantages when you land your anti-airs or when you land your Tiger Shots. It's just solid zoning all the way through, and you need to be consistent throughout the entire round, or it's lights out. This character is only as good as the player. That's what I pretty much mean. It's definitely a different type of balancing, but in the highest level of play for Sagat, if you play him perfectly, I would say he's around the upper mid level. What really holds him back is that even though his zoning can be very powerful in the right hands, he's still in a game with too much anti-zoning in the first place. But on the flip side, man, we got Season 4 to look forward to. Sagat is released early enough that we can expect some changes, a lot of changes with him, unlike Zeku, who is released a little too close to the next season. So we can stay optimistic here. So even if Sagat is considered a weak or just a mid-tier character, I think a lot of us can agree that he's very entertaining and fun to watch and very satisfying to win with. Uppercutting with Sagat is the most feel-good anti-air in the game, and I just hearing that Tiger Roar, man, I don't know. I really do like a lot of Sagat's design, but he definitely needs some tuning. So let's wrap up this video. Let me know what you guys think of Sagat so far in the comments below. Are you guys having a blast playing him like me? Do you guys think he needs some additional tuning? And if you guys could change Sagat, what would you guys like to see in Season 4? I'm probably going to make another video on Sagat on the things that I would personally like to be changed, so you guys can expect that in the future. Do me a solid and subscribe to the channel, and of course like the video, it really helps, and I'll see you guys in the future. Till then, take care.